It's a rarity nowadays when there is a Marvel Legends figure that I just absolutely have to have, let alone pre-order. So when this character was first listed, I jumped on it. So we're going to take a look at it and see if it lives up to the hype that I think it has. So stick around. Hello, fellow dorks and dorkettes, and welcome to It Came From My Side of the Laundry Room. My name is Rob, and in this episode, we are going to take a look at one of the newer Marvel Legends figures. Like I said, it's a rarity nowadays when there is a Marvel Legends figure that I absolutely have to have, drop everything, and get it. So, when this character was listed, it was a no-brainer for me that I just needed to have it. And that character is Spiral, or Ricochet Rita, or whatever you want to call her. Now, she is Mojo's enforcer, as it says. His bodyguard, his astro, multi-dimensional hunter-killer, if you will. And this is a character that I absolutely fell in love with in the 1980s. See, when I was just starting out actually collecting comics, not just reading them, ones that family members would give me or I would pick up at the 7-Eleven or what have you, one of the very first comics that I actually went in search of was the Longshot comics. Now, he was a character that I fell in love with in the X-Men comics, so I just had to go out and get his miniseries. It was, at that time, a pretty big hurdle for me to come up with that kind of money, save money, put it aside, to get that series. I was finally able to do it, and one of the main villains in it was Spiral. And love that character, and of course there were other versions of the figure released over the years, and I was not able to get any of those. So when this one came up, I just, like I said, dropped everything, pre-ordered it, and I think it looks fantastic. It's actually on one of the retro cards, and I feel kind of bad about destroying said card, but you got to get to the goodness inside. So we're going to take a look at the packaging in a little bit more detail, and then take a look at the figure. So here we go.
Okay, here we go. Like I said, this is on the retro packaging, which is reminiscent of the ones that were released in 89, 90, and onwards. And at the top, you have an awesome, old school comic letterbox. Says Marvel Comics. And inside of it, you have Wolverine, Longshot, looks like Siren, and Multiple Man, Jimmy Madrox. So that's awesome. Uncanny X-Men right there on it. It says Marvel's Spiral at the bottom, which, that's a little pet peeve. You don't need to say it's yours. We know. But anyway, over on the, bombastic part, it says Sorceress Swords. And of course, it's written in various languages beneath that. Now, the art that they used for Spiral looks great. I love this art. And like I said, I am truly going to regret ripping up this packaging, but what else are you going to do? Got to get to the figure, got to have some fun playing with it. And just looking at what it comes packed with, it comes with 4 katanas, 1 sorceress sword, and the other thing I'm not familiar with. I feel so stupid that I don't know off the top of my head, but I might have to do a little bit of research to see what that is. Now, it comes with 2 extra hands, a human hand and a cybernetic hand. And the back here, I guess it was a Dark Phoenix picture, not Siren, because the wave, you get Wolverine, Dark Phoenix, Longshot, Multiple Man, Avalanche, and Spiral. Now, that long shot is pretty cool. I have the OG Marvel Legends long shot, so I didn't feel a need to go out and go crazy and get that, but if I ever stumble upon it anywhere, I definitely am going to get it, because it actually comes with his Bowie knife when the OG one does not. So anyway, I mean, pretty nondescript back, chock full of many different warnings and just a little verbiage here that says Spiral, Mojo's deadly enforcer, possesses additional cybernetic limbs, powerful mystic abilities, and a deep enmity for her former flame, Longshot. Guess that's a nice roundabout summary of the character. And yeah, other than these things, not much to say. So let's jump in and take a look at the figure. Okay, we are going to look at some of the details here with Spiral. We're going to skip looking at the accessories because we got a good look at them in the package. But this looks great. I love the hair, how it falls. That looks awesome. Now, we'll have to look at the mechanism here for the arms here in a minute. Got some belts. I love the color. I love that she has her fuzzy boots. But other than that, there's not a lot of detail. But do you really need it when you're dealing with somebody with 6 arms? Ooh, they are very, very bouncy. It looks like they have 3 points of movement here at the elbow, or 2 points. Got the wrist movement, a wrist joint. I don't know all the fancy names for articulation. But the hair does a good job of like hiding this hump here that we can see more in detail. Now I have a whole nother separate light here, but I still feel like this is a little dark. So this has 2 lights on it, and it's still not perfect in my opinion. So I apologize. Just let me know. I had some very nice critique of the lighting before. I appreciate people letting me know what I should work on. So this is a closed fist here for the cybernetic, and it comes with an open to hold a sword. That's awesome. Now, my only critique at this point is they feel fragile, in my opinion. Like, just to get that extra movement in the elbow, yeah, I feel like I'm going to bend the arm before it even moves at the hinge here. I mean, I doubt you really need it. But let's put her gear on and do some poses. Okay, here's our first pose. I left the cybernetic fist intact because this weird blade thing, I feel like I have no need for it. But I have her posed with her katanas and the sorceress sword. And I actually used a stand that would allow her to look like she's kind of jumping or floating, because to me that was always the character. Always floating, jumping into action, just always in movement. Hardly ever just standing on the ground stagnant. So I put this base I have here. Move it a little bit. And I'd love to pose her in her like tantric type pose, but I don't know if that's possible. And I'll have to do a little bit of research to see exactly what that looks like, but I don't know if I can really get the same look to it as the awesome Art Adams artwork portrayed. But yeah, this looks awesome, and I'm happy with the figure so far. Other than the, fragile nature of the arms, I think it's pretty tight. And the fact that she does have 4 fingers, like all the inhabitants of Mojo World, super awesome. So let's go to our next pose. Okay, for this next pose, I had to get Longshot in on the action. Here he's, scared because Spiral's jumping right at him with swords drawn and ready to attack. Will he be able to get his throwing blades off in time? Who knows? Now, just playing with this OG Marvel Legends Longshot, I have quickly discovered, as you can see, that I really need to upgrade him. This, I don't mean to review this Longshot, but very loose. And that's odd because I've only... look, he's running from her. I've only ever had him standing in a pose, and it's some weird discoloration on the skin. But yeah, not a lot of posability. I mean, back when they came out, they were cream of the crop, but you really start to see how much Hasbro has advanced with these figures. I mean, this loose, like, crunch, I don't even know a way to tighten that up, but yeah, it's pretty bad. But he still will be up on the shelf with my other favorite X-Men, Gambit and Nightcrawler. But here he's like running. As she's coming in to slice him up. So let's do one more pose and call it a day. Okay, this is the closest I could get to her weird tantric magic type of pose. Like in the Longshot miniseries when she's getting ready to sacrifice that baby. Anyway, it's not as ideal as I would like, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. And how often do you get a chance to get a 6-armed character? So that alone is a really awesome selling point. Now, I wish that her helmet would be removable, because there's a lot of times when she doesn't have the helmet on. It's just her long flowing white hair. And the one drawback to the furry leggings, or what are they called? Calf warmers or whatever. Why am I forgetting the name? Leg warmers. Yes, the fuzzy leg warmers is that it kind of hampers like the crossing of the legs even tighter and things like that. But she looks awesome. And I love everything about it, from the color to the details to just the fact that it's another awesome Mojoverse character to have. And mind you, I know there's a Mojo figure out, but I ain't dropping that kind of bank for something that's going to take up that much shelf space. So, I mean, I love it, but I'm loving it from afar. But this, awesome addition. Next, we need, what was his name? Quark, the goat dude, and also the little fuzzy weirdo beast that hung out with Longshot that ultimately became a villain. No spoilers, sorry about that. But yeah, I'm really happy about this character. So let's go back to me and wrap this up.
Okay, folks, back to me. I'm very happy with this Marvel Legends figure. Like I said, it's a rarity when I go out of my way to get one. And this one was really special. And special to me because the Longshot miniseries was such a cornerstone to my comic book collecting history. Unfortunately, I don't collect comics like I used to. I still love them, but Yeah, my heart and soul are just completely entrenched in the 80s and 90s lore of comics, and I really have no idea what's going on nowadays. But this character, I don't know what changes she's experienced over the decades I haven't read, but this figure is as close to, the awesomeness of the 80s of the character that I loved. So, really happy to have it. Can't wait to find a really fun way to pose her up on my shelf. And with that, I say it's a great addition to your collection, especially if you're X-Men or just a Marvel collector in general. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everybody. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this or any of the episodes that YouTube is recommending down here, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you'll be notified whenever there's a new episode. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Keep being rad and stay dorky.